Hello. Oh man, I didn't get that set up properly. I'm a smart one. Okay, where's that thing? Where did that thing go? That's the wrong one. What about that one? That's the wrong one. What about that one? Haha, that's the right one. I figured it out. Hello. Hey, why is my chat not working? Let's go chat. Let's go chat. There we are. Hello, Kathy Evans. How are you doing? You've been here for a while. I saw your comment a while ago when I was getting ready for this stream. Jason Flemmo, what up, dude? How you doing? Meepy, hello. All right. Jacob Cobberholm, hello, good sir. Good to see you again. Welcome back. Sup. The dream's gone. Hello, Bacon. Bacon. I flippin', hello. Matt G, what up, dude? So like, I always do these like Monday posts where I do like a poll and I ask people questions about things. And like one of the options is always bacon. And I was putting together one of those polls recently, like yesterday. And I'm like, people are probably getting tired of me always putting something about bacon in these polls. And so I put 3 different responses that included bacon. And I was like, there you go. That's gonna get somebody really ticked off. It definitely will. All right, let's go full screen. There we are. All right, who else we got around here? Timothy Nguyen, what up, dude? How you doing, buddy? Noah Aldredge, hello, yo. The dream's done. The dream's gone up. It's bacon, beans, and rice. Why bacon, beans, and rice? What is going on with the beans thing? I mean, I love beans. I don't eat much rice at all, ever. Almost. I don't ever eat rice, almost. I stay away from rice and pasta and stuff like that because it's like, but meat and beans and like vegetables, oof, those I eat a lot of that crap. I eat bull crap too, but anyway. Rando Caucasian, what up, dude? How you doing, man? Yes, we're gonna do it. Hector Martinez, what up, man? Keith Rawson, hello. Good evening to you, good sir. Rednear, yo, what up? Russ Deracote, hey Luke, how's it going? I hope your bacon is crispy. It's usually crispy. My wife does an amazing job cooking bacon, and we were camping like a couple of weeks ago, and I cooked everything over the fire. Everything got cooked over the open. Well, I mean, I have a grill set up that goes over the fire, but I literally make fire. I make a fire out of wood. That's what you make most fires out of, and I cook all of our food over it while we're camping, and I made the bacon 2 of the mornings, and it was crispy. It cooked very fast. It got very crispy, so it was nice. And by the way, when you're camping, if you're gonna cook everything over a fire, the most complicated and difficult and time-consuming meal you can possibly cook is breakfast. Holy crap! When you're doing like eggs and bacon and beans. And what else do I do for breakfast? Making coffee, dude, making coffee, heating water. Oh, it takes so long. It's such a pain in the butt. I literally take our kettle and I put it next to the fire. You don't put it over the fire. You literally put it next to the fire, like touching the embers so it can actually get hot and you can have warm water. It still never boils, but it's like piping hot. So what else did we have for breakfast? We had other stuff for breakfast because that's not oh, hash. Yes, corned beef hash. We have corned beef hash too. Like everything over the fire. It's delicious. So yeah, that was our camping trip. Amber Phoenix Fire, hello. What up? The rocket crotch. The rocket couch. Sorry, buddy. No more bacon. It's giving me sodium problems. There are low sodium options. Timothy says, Luke, did Scented Realms ever reach out to you? I don't think so. I don't know. Wait, Scented Realms? They might have. Is that a candle company? Here's the thing. I already have like a sponsorship deal with Firelight Fables Candle Company. And so I remember there was a candle company that reached out to me a month ago. And I might not have even responded. But I already have a sponsorship deal with a current candle company. I literally have one of their candles right here because I burn these things all the time when I'm working because they just smell so amazing. And so I kind of felt like if I'm already have a sponsorship deal with one candle company, and I'm like promoting their products and stuff, and I use them, like I didn't feel like it would be like ethical or moral or something to also promote another candle company. I don't know what the proper adjective is, but it didn't feel right, and so I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna have to pass on that. So, cold Pop-Tarts. That's, dude, Sean, why are you eating cold Pop-Tarts? That's a lazy man's camping meal. Dude, you gotta get a fire going. At least get a fire going and warm them up, man. Jeez. Bacon wrapped fresh scallops for dinner tonight. Wow, that sounds cool. Bacon is used as seasoning in beans and rice in Louisiana. Oh, cool. Meepy says we took a little bacon and we took little beans and we caught the bloody British in the town of New Orleans. John Sosby says 3 a.m. shorter cooking is really fun, actually. People request all kinds of things. Fun to see if I can make them. Kind of miss that. Interesting. What is that? Like a rest? That sounds like it's like a bar or something. If it's 3 a.m. You know, this is stupid. Oh, scented cartridges? What, cartridges for like my AR or something? Like what kind of cartridges are we talking about? Magazines? Are we talking about like rifle magazines? What are we talking about when you say cartridges? When you say cartridges, I think magazine for like my AR or something. So you're gonna have to explain what you mean by scented cartridges, because I don't know if I'm like shooting my AR. Do I care what the cartridges smell like? I mean, you know, it's here, so like you probably could smell it, but I don't think that's what I'm focusing on. So I think you're probably talking about something else. A Dakota fire hole can help you cook faster? Oh, I'm gonna have to Google that. What the heck is a Dakota fire hole? Let's go. Dakota fire hole. Is this a safe search? Oh, it looks like it's a safe search. Meepy, I'm like, Meepy's gonna send us somewhere. Yeah, but Meepy, he's a moderator. He should be sending us to safe places. All right, this is a Dakota fire hole. Are you gonna let me make this big? All right. Learn useless talents. This is not a useless talent if it helps you cook better. Okay, hold on. How do I... Oh, you're so stupid. Open image in new tab. There we go. Oh, make it bigger. Okay, here we go. Oh, make smaller. All right, so this is the Dakota fire hole. You dig a hole about 1 foot deep with a diameter slightly smaller than your pan or pot at the top, and that widens at the bottom, okay? You build the fire hole near a tree to help disperse the smoke. Oh, so that's so you can't get spotted or something. Line the edges of the hole with rocks to support your pan or pot. Then you got some dimensions and stuff. Use small twigs and pine cones as fuel. I mean, you need something that burns for a while, because you have to constantly tend to fire when you're cooking over it, because you got to have it at you got to constantly tend to fire. And ooh, well, interesting. Dig a second hole about 8 inches in diameter that tunnels diagonally for the first hole. Your second hole should be open to the wind. So I'm assuming, so the second hole is probably for ventilation, because you have to have oxygen for this fire, but you also have to be able to feed the fire too, because you're gonna have to constantly give it food as you cook your food. But I don't know, 12 inches is a lot. Well, no, 12 inches is about like that. So 12 inches, you build your fire. Yeah, that's actually about right. So this diagram is not to scale at all, because that hole is a lot deeper than it actually would be. But 12 inches is about right, because you'd be able to build a fire, and then the flames would be high enough to cook your food on your skittle without being too close but not too far away. That's about right. Yeah, that's about right. And then every so often you probably just take your skittle up, throw some wood in there and stuff. Yeah, that's a good idea right there. The only problem is, well, yeah, I have to try that sometime. That's interesting. That's really cool. Thank you for sharing, Meepy. It loads in smells and blows scents out. Oh, interesting. Huh. I don't eat Pop-Tarts. Oh, I had Pop-Tarts for the first time probably about a month ago. No, wait. No, I had Pop-Tarts when we were camping. Yeah, I had them as a snack. Out of a vending machine. Yeah. But that's the first time I've had Pop-Tarts in like a year, 2 years. This has been a long time. That's not a food we typically buy because Pop-Tarts are really just sugar. They're just like bundles of sugar. And they're good, don't get me wrong, but they're bundles of sugar. And that's something we try to take away. No, I think 12 inch is about right. Rocket Crotch, I'm just gonna call you Rocket Crotch now. I'm sorry, dude. But 12 inches is about right. To have a fire in there, have the flames, and then the pot, I think that's about right. And since there's the heat all has to go into the bottom of your pot, and so it's gonna, all the heat goes right into it, none of it's wasted, that's really good. That's really good. Oh, you just sent them to us? Like what, my P.O. box or something? Oh gosh, I haven't checked my P.O. box in a couple months, I think. I'll have to check that at some point here. Sorry. All right, you guys ready to start this stuff? All right, we're gonna be reading, what are we doing tonight? RPG horror stories. We're gonna read some RPG horror stories and we'll have to react to them and talk about them and that kind of stuff because that's lots of fun. And yeah, that's what we're doing tonight. So giddy up. And we do have a giveaway going as well. There's a link in the chat. Hopefully you guys can go join the giveaway. The winner of the giveaway is going to win, I suppose, $50 DM Lair store credit, where you can get a whole bunch of cool stuff over on the DM Lair store. Lots of 5th edition products. We have Pathfinder 2 products. We have Foundry modules, adventures, monsters. Oh, we have the whole works. Everything you need to, prep for your games and, just run cool, awesome games and stuff without having to I don't know, beat your head against a wall if you don't know where to start or something, or you just want someone to do the work for you so you can just sit back and run your game and stuff. So anyway, $50 DM Lair store credit for the giveaway winner. So join that. The link down in the chat. And Nightbot is running. Nightbot has never failed us. Nightbot does so well. Ever since we fired Stream Elements, it's been beautiful. Nightbot is great. The only thing that I've seen people complain about Nightbot is apparently Nightbot, people will swear and use adult language, and then Nightbot will bonk them on the heads for it. And some people complain about that, but it's y'all know that I run a family-friendly channel and stuff, and we don't swear and stuff, so it shouldn't surprise you if our bot bonks you on the head for bad language. But anyway, Nightbot has been doing great. And unlike Stream Elements, that thing would always break. And then I'd send them emails and they'd be like, oh, you gotta restart it, and you gotta uninstall it and reinstall it. And I'm just why doesn't your stupid chatbot just work like it's supposed to? Anyway, so now we use Nightbot. Nightbot puts the mods out of work. Oh, I love my mods though. You guys are awesome. How's it doing? How you doing, Greg? Oh, Son of a Sofa Man. Hello, what's up, dude? Son of a Sofa Man. It's been a while. How you doing, buddy? You have Pop-Tart vending machines where you camp? I mean, I go to a state campground. So I live in Michigan, and Michigan has lots of state parks. And almost all the state parks have campgrounds on them. And so there's one near where we live that I go to. And my wife and I were showering because you have to go to the public bathrooms at a state park to shower and stuff. And we were there showering and we noticed vending machines around the corner, and we went and looked at them and we were like, oh, look at this. They have all this different stuff here. And then one of the times we were like, hey, let's get something from the vending machine. And I got a Pop-Tart. So yeah, I don't know. They had vending machines at our campground. So it worked. Is the cat biting recently? The cat is not here right now, but I'm sure he'll come at some point and try to bite me and stuff. I'm sure that's what's gonna happen. Green 4 Whiskey, hello, what up, dude? How you doing, buddy? Does Nightbot also do anything for caps? I think I turned that off. I think by default it was doing something for caps, and then it bonked somebody, and I was like, this is stupid. It's just caps. I don't care. It was probably a mistake. And so I think I turned it off. But if somebody starts spamming them, then I guess they're going to break it for everybody, and we'll have to turn caps bopping back on or something. So, yeah. Vass Arctus says, funny enough, I never noticed you don't curse, especially with the high sense dungeon master school joke. That was one joke. Yeah, that was fun. I misspoke, by the way. I misspoke in that video 2 years ago. I will have you know. There was a misspeaking on my part. All right. No, but dude, I've been on YouTube channels before where every other word's like an effer and mother effer, and it's just like, holy crap, how does anybody? Whoo, man. So yeah, I don't do that. I can't even listen to that crap. It's so bad sometimes. It's like they don't have any other vocabulary. All right, what are we doing? All right, so we're also raising money for the city rescue mission of Lansing. Let's go over to their website so you can see this stuff. So these guys basically give food and shelter to those who don't have it, folks who are in need, folks who maybe have other problems in their life that they're dealing with. They might be going through some domestic issues and have to, like a mom with her kids or something, they have to go somewhere to stay because they can't be at home, and they need food, they need shelter and stuff. So we are raising money for these folks right here. Our goal is $500. We are at $175 currently. So that is what we're trying to get. And if you would like to give to the City Rescue Mission of Lansing and help those who do not have food and do not have shelter, you may do so by tipping. There is a link. There's a link in the chat to tipping. Hopefully one of my moderators can throw a link as well to the City Rescue Mission of Lansing where you can send your donations along. Once we hit $500, I'll make a donation to them, and then we pick a new charity. That's how we do these things. And also, where is this? Right here, you can see that if you donate $25, I will do a set of push-ups right here on this camera. You'll be able to watch me and supervise me do push-ups live for your entertainment. And I will also, $50 will get me to dance as well. And I am an accomplished dancer with multiple awards for dancing. So you should probably be really excited to see me do that. Yeah. So anyway, those are our perks for those who wish to donate. And we're also the giveaway, I've decided that for the giveaway, we're gonna tie the giveaway to, we're gonna do the giveaway or draw the winners to the giveaway once we hit our goal. So whenever we hit our goal, whether it's today or whether it's our next stream, once we hit our charity donation goal, then I'm gonna do the giveaway and we'll give away some cool stuff to folks. So I'm gonna tie it to that. It's interesting. I was thinking about this today. I've talked to my wife about this too. But the interesting thing is that I raise money for lots of different charities on stream. I raise money for like essentially orphanages. I'll raise money for veteran things. I'll raise money for just lots of different types of charities. And the interesting thing is that we get lots of donations for the other charities, but for whatever reason, when I go to this charity, which is for the homeless, for people who don't have shelter and don't have food, like the donations are always really low and it takes us forever to hit our goals. And I don't know exactly why that is. Like, I don't understand why the other charities, it's like folks are more willing to give, but people don't want to give to help the homeless or something. So I don't really understand why that is, but it is a trend that I've noticed. And so, because we've been sitting here trying to raise our $500 for this charity for a long time now. And other charities, like if we do a stack up, we get thousands of dollars. If we do like some of the other veterans things, money just pours in. We do things for children, like One More Child or All God's Children, money pours in. So I don't know, I don't understand exactly why, but anyway, let's try to hit our $500 to help the homeless. I give to them every single month myself. I have a reoccurring donation with the City Rescue Mission of Lansing. A lot of not all of them, but a lot of the charities that I raise money for on stream, I give to myself personally. I give to them out of my own personal funds. So anyway, let's try to raise some money for them. Oh, we give to the Humane Society too. Whenever I raise money for the Humane Society, which is for cats and dogs and, you know, animals and pets and stuff, also same thing, money just pours in. So I don't know why we sometimes struggle with the homeless charities, but I really want to get them their $500 because there's people out there that are struggling and need our help. So if you'd like to help, please feel free to do so. And I'll stop bow reading, blah, 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 and we'll, whatever. That's what you do. You're like, whenever you're like, you lose your train of thought or something, and you're just like, I don't know. Anyway, and then you just move on. Okay, let's do it. Let's do a horror story, shall we? All right, let's see. I picked out a couple of these. I didn't read them, but I glanced through them a little bit, but there's no guarantee. I didn't have time to really read them. Whoa! I don't think we can read this one on stream. I gotta hold on a second. I think the title is gonna stop us. But this. Okay, here we go. All right, there we are. And let's get this a little bit bigger here. There we are. Okay, so the title here is The DM Wants to X Everybody Up. So we probably can't read this on stream. We'll just go to the next one. Sorry. It was like a teaser. I have a bunch of these open. I think there's some other ones that I can't actually read because they're just bad. You could probably go read them on your own if you want to. The mic output level is correct. Like I'm monitoring my mic right now and I'm at the proper decibels, so it should be fine as far as I can see. My eyes burn, Gadget Cat's like, my eyes burn, ah! Can you do the 44 rules one? What's the 44 rules one? I don't know which one that is. Oh, we probably have some on our Discord too. We also have a channel on our Discord for horror stories. So let me read this one and then we'll go to our Discord and see if we have anything over there. A few years ago, my sister and I were looking for a new D&D group. Oh, wait, what's the title? The title is Awful DM is Oblivious to Our Discomfort, Scares Us Away After One Bad Session. A few years ago, my sister and I were looking for a new D&D group to join. I got in contact with a guy on Facebook. Oh, that's probably your first problem right there. We met him on Facebook. I mean, actually, that's probably not a true statement. Like, there are lots of good people on Facebook, but I don't know. I guess if you're gonna meet someone online, I guess it doesn't. I mean, there probably are bad places to meet people online. I don't know that Facebook's one of them, but anyway, let's just keep moving on. We agreed to meet at a game shop for our first session. It was just the three of us, so it's your sister and you. This person's probably a girl too, so two girls meeting with a guy. Good call in the game shop. It was just the three of us with him DMing, so we weren't entirely sure how well it would go with just two players even before things got started. Things just got worse and worse from the moment we started. DM was running a module from a book, which would have been fine if he'd actually bothered to read and prep before we started. Oh, another one of those dungeon masters. They're like, oh, it's a module from a book. I don't gotta do any prep. I'm literally right now for my Ancient Dragon group, I am running Escape from the Fae, which is the sequel to Into the Fae. They're both modules that I've written, and Escape from the Fae is getting written. It's almost done. And I'm running it for my Ancient Dragon players, and like I wrote the module, I wrote it myself, and I still have to reread through it and prep before every game. Now, you know, I go through with my highlighter, I take a few notes, you know, I write down key names so that I have them handy on a cheat sheet and stuff. I got to get things set up in Foundry VTT, whatever. Like, I still have to prep for the game, you know, before the game happens. I wrote the thing myself, but I still have to prep. So I don't, my brain cannot fathom and it cannot conceptualize and wrap itself around game masters who grab a module that they didn't even write, which is true for most game masters, and then they think they can run it without prepping it or reading it all. It just doesn't compute for me. DM was writing a module from a book, which would have been fine if he'd actually bothered to read and prep before we started, or if he had done like every other DM I've ever had and kept the book behind a screen. No, he was sitting right next to me, book in the open, staring at it for minutes at a time as he slowly copied the map onto our grid. You know, the interesting thing is like, I feel like that is kind of common. Like, not that you run a module without prepping, but I've seen a lot of groups and I've watched them for a little bit of time. And sometimes I see these groups that are just kind of like, I don't know what they're doing. They're just floundering. I have no idea what's going on. And then if I can manage to find the game master, it's clear that they don't have anything planned or prepped, and I don't know what's going on. It's just complete chaos. So I feel like this whole wing it thing where things just kind of like it happens. It happens. My sister was so irritated by this that she didn't even bother pretending she couldn't see and just walked right through everything since she knew where everything was from his book. Because he's just showing you the map right out of his book. You know. But even then, after a good hour or so, we'd made barely any progress in the story because he was so freaking slow. Anytime he had to flip pages to reference something, he got lost because he didn't have any bookmarks. And once he found the right page, he spent at least a full minute reading and ruminating on what it said, even if it was a basic mechanic all players were familiar with. Yeah. I had a game master once who was running Curse of Strahd for us. This was years ago. We never finished it because the whole group imploded, but I had a strong feeling that he didn't do much prep for that game as well, because there were good portions of time where he was looking through the book and finding stuff and reading stuff, but it wasn't so egregious that I was 100% sure that he didn't prep. It was just kind of a feeling I had, you know, that maybe he didn't prep a whole lot or something, but yeah, that's not how you want to run the game. I have an entire video on my channel called, I don't know what the title of it is, but the entire premise of the video and what I purport in the video is that there's one thing that can make your game amazing, or it can elevate it. It can make it better than most games out there, and that's running a smooth game. Just a smooth game. A game where the action and the pacing just keeps on going. It keeps on flowing. There aren't big breaks where you're looking things up in the book or trying to figure out how a rule works, or you're like, you know, drawing out the map or thinking or trying to, because you weren't prepared or something. A smooth game. A smooth game. Just the things keep on going, and you're adjudicating and you're running the game, and your eyes are on your players way more than they are in the book or on your notes, and you're just going and going, and it's a smooth game. And that video was actually spawned because I was in a game that was anything but a smooth game. It was a disaster. The game master was running the game, and he'd be looking something up, like in the book or something. How's that work? Or he was running an adventure module. And he was looking things up in the adventure module. And while he was running the adventure module, so check this out. I gotta go full camera for this. So while he was running the adventure module, he'd be looking things up, and then you'd have player A would ask him a question, and he's like busy looking things up, and so he couldn't get to that, right? And then while he's looking things up, player B would ask him a question, and then he's like still looking things up. And then player C declares they're going to do something, right? And then the next player declares they're going to do something, and he's still he's in the book, right? Like, you know? And then finally he gets the answer to the other player, what he was looking up in the book, and then he's got player A, he's like, okay, how's that work? And then he's trying to figure out what player A is going to do, you know, and how that works from the module. And then the other players are telling things that they want to do. And there was this constant pileup of back actions of people declaring they wanted to do things, you know, and he's like looking things up and trying to figure things out, and it was absolute chaos. It was absolute chaos. So I was a player, right? And so I'm watching all of this, and I'm just like, this is a disaster. This is just a crap show. I mean, and it wasn't all the game master's fault either. Like, part of the fault was on the players because they were just dogpiling their actions on the game master without giving him any opportunity to adjudicate, to resolve anything. It was chaos. They're just like dunk, 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 dunk. It was pure chaos. And I'm like, this group sucks. This is horrible. So I remember that game. I was not in that game for very long before I left because I was too busy, which is actually always a true statement, but you know, that wasn't the actual reason I left. It was mostly because it was just not worth 3 hours of my time, however long we played. It wasn't worth my time to do that. That game master should have, when players started to dogpile their actions, be like, whoa, hold on a second. Let me resolve this one first. Let me resolve this one first, and then we'll get to that. And they should have controlled that a little bit better, and they should have just adjudicated faster and worried less about looking things up in the module to be true to the module, and just make quick rulings and just make stuff up to keep the game flowing, keep things going smoothly. Like, if you don't prep enough beforehand, you got to be willing to improvise on the spot to keep the action moving. And so that was a game I remember. Just you know, in case you're interested in hearing about that. But you're in my live stream, so that probably means you care, maybe? No, you just want beans. All right. Where were we? Yes. Then came the final straw, where we are right here in our story. Then came the final straw. The storefront was mostly windows, so we could see people going about their day outside. At one point, a homeless person stopped to rummage through the trash can outside the store entrance. Sister and I do our best to help homeless people, often handing out bags of non-perishable food, water, and gloves in the winter. Awesome. Awesome. Fortunately, you can also, so the other thing you can do if you want to help the homeless is give to food banks. Food banks. So in my home city, there's a, what is it? The Lansing Area Food Bank? I forget what it's called. But there's a food bank I give money to. And the reason I give money to the food bank is the food banks can leverage your donations to get more food than if you were to give directly. Like, I don't know how they do it. They probably have special deals set up with manufacturers or something, but they, like, I was reading this food bank that I donate to, like, and how they do it. And they're literally, they can, for every, like, I don't know, it was something like for every $1 I give or every $3, it was like, it was crazy. It was like for a little tiny bit of money I give, they can get 3 meals out of it or something. And I was like, how do they do that? That's crazy. So they have connections with different folks to be able to leverage your money and to feed people better than if you were to give people money directly. And so that's why I give it to a food bank, because I'm going to help feed people way more than if I, you know, just go give people food directly. And I've seen people throw away food. You'll give somebody that's asking for money for food on the street, you'll give them food and they just throw it away. And it's like, well, you didn't really want food, did you? Doesn't matter what your piece of cardboard said. So I don't know. I give to food banks and I give to homeless shelters because I know that they're actually going to use that money to help the people in the way that they actually need help, which is food and shelter, and then getting back on their feet and stuff. So anyway, let's continue with the story. Unfortunately, we'd recently run out of said bags and both lamented that fact because we didn't even have any change we could offer the person either. DM became visibly disgusted and boldly stated that he wished there was an open season on the homeless so he could just go out and shoot them all. Wow. Horrified, my sister and I demanded to know if he'd still support that kind of thing if he were homeless. And he claimed he would. Yeah, I'm sure he would. Yeah, that sounds like a true claim. By now, we weren't just uncomfortable with him, we were downright afraid of him. We didn't want to rage quit for fear he'd get angry at us, so we needed a more subtle way to leave. And that's smart. That's very smart. That is very smart to just kind of like try to peace out in the most non-confrontational way possible. Like when you're dealing with a psycho, you know, be like, we don't want to get him upset at us too. We should just try to get out of here casually, like, you know. The sister is physically disabled. We'd mentioned to him ahead of time that she may need to leave early, so it's good. When you're going into a weird, or when you're going into a situation like that with a stranger or strangers, people you don't know, preempting a plausible reason to have to leave early is a good idea. So that is good. I'm not saying that this person did it intentionally, but it's good to have that ready to go. So we looked at each other, nodded slightly, and she told him she was starting to hurt and needed to go home. We packed everything up, got home, and texted him as kindly as we could that we just didn't enjoy the session, so we weren't going to continue with him. He seemed to take it well, and we haven't had any contact since. Yeah, that is smart. Like, that is totally smart to peace out in that way. There have been other horror stories that we've read, and it's like the people enjoy pain and suffering, and they stay in the game way past when they should have left. You know, and then they're in the game for years with some crazy people, and then later they come on Reddit and they post a horror story, and it's like, well, did you just like sit there in that game for like a couple years being like, you know, this sucks, this game is horrible, but a year from now, after I've suffered, I'm gonna be able to go on Reddit and post a horror story, and then it's all gonna be worth it. Like, you gotta wonder, like, why do people sit in games they hate and are not enjoying? So props to these two that got out of there when they saw the stupid crap this guy was pulling. Wow. How do you recommend finding more players for an in-person campaign? I'm struggling with a lack of players and a bunch of cancellations. So game shops, put up posters at game shops. A lot of local game shops will have a board where you can post that you're looking for players. I've done that before, and you don't always get like a very fast response, but you'll get a slow trickle of emails, like maybe an email every couple of weeks or something. So that's one way to do it. If you go to, there's a Reddit /LFG. If you go there, you can post for local games, like in-person games. I filled up 2 entire groups. This was about 5 or 6 years ago or something, but I filled up 2 entire groups of 5 players each, almost purely from the Reddit LFG, looking for groups. Reddit LFG, I got like 2 full groups filled. And of all the people that I found on there, only one of them turned out to be like a problem player. Everybody else was just a normal human being. So it worked really well. So that's another way that I would recommend doing that too. So you could try that. Yes, green for whiskey. That is so true. Was it green for whiskey? Yeah, number 1 reason people stay in bad games, friends. Yep, because you're afraid if you leave the game, you're gonna hurt the friendship or something. Yeah, I understand. I don't think I would care. Don't think I would care. I would just figure out the reason, baby. I linked an archive of the now deleted 44 rules post in the Horror Stories Discord thing. Okay, let's go check that out. Let's check that out. Judas Brennan says, this was my D&D horror story. It was my first experience of D&D. What was? This one right here? The one, wait, hold on a second. The one I'm reading right now was you? Is that what you're saying, Judas? Was this you, dude? Are you serious? I gotta wait now to see what his response is. No? Oh. Well, then what was? Yo, like, we got the OP in the house. Look at this, man. All right, let's go over to our Reddit and see what we can find in our Horror Stories Reddit. Because we have... Nobody put beans on my post. What happened? Look at... Every time I make one of these posts, people put beans. And then for this one, they didn't put... Look, that one did. This one, they didn't put beans on it. Why did nobody put beans? Oh, they put the beans right there. Oh, that is so sly. Oh, you can't see it because my doggy thing is here. Hold on a second. Oops, wait, hold on a second. Oops. What is going on around here? I gotta get rid of that, and I gotta get... Oh, hold on a second. There we go. Now you can see it. See, look at... They have the beans. They did a beans emoji. Instead of spelling out beans, they put an emoji there. Oh, that is so sly. That is so tricksy. All right, let's go to our subreddit. I mean, not our subreddit. Our Discord channel for horror stories. Where is this thing? We have too many channels. Oh, where is this thing? Looking for group. Where is it? Horror stories. Looking for group. RPG horror stories. Yay! Here we go. Okay. Where is this 44 rules thing? Which one is the 44 rules thing? Somebody says they just posted it. I don't know which one it is. Which one is it? Hold on. Let's go to... Oh, well, whatever. Where's my chat? I need to know which one it is because I see a whole bunch of them and I have no idea what the name is. I don't see anything called... I don't know which one it is, guys. There's nothing called 44 rules or anything. We'll glance at 44 rules. If it's 2 hours of content, I'm not gonna... The 44 rules thing was a couple of weeks ago. A lot of YouTubers have done videos on it. Oh yeah, the dog piling on the one topic. Yeah, that's a popular thing to do. What's it called though? What is it called on my Discord? Like, I just need to know what the name of the post is. Does anybody know what the name of the post is? It's like, it's not called 44 rules because there's nothing on here called 44 rules. Is that post still out there somewhere? Can we like Google search this thing? Oops, that's the wrong one. It's all over Reddit? Okay, then I can look it up. Hold on a second. Okay, hold on. Let's find it. I thought somebody said it was deleted. 44 rules of D&D. All right. Archive of the 44 rules for D&D. Are a lot of people making videos on it? Really? So this is a thing where a bunch of people are making videos. Reading the terrible 44 rules for D&D. Oh yeah, everybody's dogpiling on it. Everybody, 44 rules for D&D. Bob Worldbuilder did something on it, the 44 rules for everybody's just like, oh, this is a hot topic. We should dogpile on it. We'll get views. Everybody's just piling on it. Yep, that's how it works. And then the way that the algorithm works too is that if you watch, crap, why am I drawing a name blank on him? If you watch his video on it, it's 2.5 hours. If you watch his video, the algorithm's going to be like, oh yeah, you like this type of content, cool. And then they're going to recommend Bob's to you, and then if you watch that, like they're going to be like, oh yeah, you like this sort of content, and then they're going to recommend this guy's and this guy's and this guy's. The next thing you know, so like this is one of the reasons why if YouTubers dogpile on one topic, they can get lots of traction on views on it, because YouTube will just keep recommending that sort of content to you with that title and stuff, because it's like, you watch this video about, world building, you might be interested in this video about world building, or this video on world building. It's like they're recommending similar topics to you. And so people do this. It's like it's just, a dog pile on a hot topic type of thing, because you get views, it works for attention. But anyway, I don't really care about the YouTube videos. That's not what I wanted. This one might work. The archive of 44 rules. Oh, One Shot Questers. Duke from One Shot Questers. I was drawing a blank on his name for some reason. Yeah. DC20 is the new hot topic. Yeah. I mean, but it's a new Kickstarter that just came out, and a lot of people are excited about it. And Alan has been talking to a lot of us YouTubers about it and stuff, and giving us like the free betas and stuff. And he's been inviting us to play tests of it, and we've been playing in games with him and stuff about it. So yeah, we're going to talk about it, and it's a really cool system. So yeah, I feel like there's a different reason people are talking about DC20 than the reason that a lot of people talk about the same stuff. Like when Wizards does the Pinkertons, or Wizards does other things, or there's a new hot topic that comes out. There's different reasons people talk about that than the reasons they talk about DC20. So, wow. So this is long. So it's 44 different rules. So they just read through this basically. Why does this take 2 hours of content? Why does it take 2 hours to read through 44 rules? I cannot stress, rule number 43. Cannot stress enough how little I care how you feel about my rulings from now on. Wait, what is going on here? Hold on a second. Maybe we need to read this. Okay, 44 rules for D&D. Number 1. I'm timing turns. I don't give a crap if it's unfair in your opinion, because your spells are hard or you don't know what square to move to. You get 1 minute to know all the actions you want to take, or I skip your turn. I mean, yeah, it's nobody's at the table's fault that a wizard doesn't know what their spells do and can't make up their mind. So I'm okay. I'm kind of okay with that. I'm kind of okay with that. I've skipped players' turns before because they won't make up their minds. And it only takes 1 or 2 times of skipping their turns before magically they get faster. Imagine that! If you want harder fights, bring a second character sheet and expect to twiddle your thumbs when you die. I'm not going to baby anyone. What does that mean? That seems contradictory. Whatever. If you call me or my rules unfair, I'll get up and go home. And if you gotta ride with me, you can find your own way back and suck it up. And see, now I just think this is like a joke. Like, now I don't even know if this is a serious post, I think this is somebody just having some fun to get people riled up. I swear, somebody made this just to get attention, to get people riled up. And now you have like YouTubers doing videos on it. And I swear, the original person who posted this, the OP is just sitting there like, it was a joke. I got all of you nerds riled up. It was a joke. He's probably just laughing it up at our expense because people take it seriously. Oh, can you imagine the Twitterverse oh, Twitter, X, whatever, freaks out over this. They probably are just having a conniption fit, a meltdown. Oh my gosh, the mob is probably irate over some of the stuff that's going to be in these 44 rules. I could just see it, just like total brain meltdown of, because I mean, if you have nothing to be outraged about, then why are you on Twitter, essentially? Number 4, I'm going to take your character's loot away as regularly as you want it given out. Rule number 3 will apply here. If you don't act, by the way, I am assuming that everything on here is meant to just be a joke and to poke fun at people who get worked up over a game. So I'm going to be laughing at a lot of this stuff. And it doesn't mean that I agree with it or that I would do it. I just think it's funny because somebody is like intentionally poking a stick into the hornet's nest for no other reason than to get some jollies over hornets that get all worked up and out of shape. If you don't, number 5, if you don't act out any of your persuasion or intimidation or any of their social checks, you fail even before you roll. You fail immediately because you aren't even trying and you're making the game lame for everyone else. Number 6, if you don't pick up cues for side quests, that's not my problem. Get over yourself. It's not a video game. It's a role-playing pen and paper based game with miniatures. I'm not holding your hand if you choose not to pursue crap. Yeah, I mean, sure. Like I present my character, my players with side quests, and sometimes they take them, sometimes they don't. I don't care. It's a side quest. A lot, you know. I've presented side quests before that I didn't think they were gonna take, and then they decide to go do it, and I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm just like, holy crap. That happened to me in my Pathfinder 2 game like a while ago. They're in this dungeon right now, this big three level dungeon, Core Badur or something like that, and I had a little bit of the first level mapped out because they actually had a planned adventure there, and then they decided they got that adventure done, went back to town, and then I know why, because I know why they decided to go back to that dungeon. It's my own fault because I put a plot hook there. I just didn't think they were going to take it. And so I gave them this plot hook, this side quest, but I was like, they're not going to take that. They're going to go do the other thing that's important. No, they decided to go back to that dungeon, which I was not ready to run at all. And so I had an entire game session, one entire game session that I didn't know what I was doing. And I was literally just making crap up. I was rolling random encounters and trying to, like, you know, put some story around it so it didn't feel like I was just BSing everything. But yeah, I was not prepared at all. It was just a crap show from my point of view. I'm sure my players noticed. They're all very intelligent people and game masters themselves, so I know they noticed, but I was just putting crap together. But then once I got through that game session, I was like, all right, I gotta actually plan this dungeon because they want to do the dungeon. And so then now I have everything, you know, ready to go. I'm prepared, but that was crazy. They took the side quest. I was like, nah, they'll never take this side quest. Yeah, I think the 44 rules post has to be a joke. I think it's a joke. I'm assuming it's a joke. If you move to a square in combat, there's no takebacks. Number 8, if you tell every single person that what you're going to do, what you're doing before you do it, you don't roll the dice and then say you're casting Fireball. You tell us all. So, okay. Number 9, I will give out exhaustion more frequently. If you argue, go home, or you can actually fight me over it, or you can DM yourself. I give out exhaustion a lot. In my 5th edition games, if you drop to 0 hit points and then you get healed, you have exhaustion. If you drop 2 times, you got 2 levels of exhaustion. 3 times, 3 levels of exhaustion. You get exhaustion, baby. I am so sick of the yo-yo back up and down with no consequences in D&D 5th edition. It is I hate it. I hate it. It's like you're on the verge of death and yet no consequences. I hate that crap. That is not my type of game, man. I don't want the game where you're dying all the time because that gets old too. I just need there to be the game where there is a motivation for players not to drop and almost die, where there's a motivation to heal yourself before you're about to die. So I don't know, that part of 5th edition just doesn't do it for me. So I add exhaustion onto it and I think it works well. Number 10, every snide comment you make to an NPC will be remembered and paid back in triplicate. You all seem to believe there is little consequence. Players do this all the time. Players make snide comments. I've had players make these snide comments to like bosses, like villains and stuff. And then they're shocked when they get attacked. It's like, well, you were making fun of the bad guy to his face. Like, you don't think he's gonna do something about that, buddy? Well, okay. You will not be given a mega dungeon every session. A temple is not the size of a small city. Neither is this cave. This crap will happen when it's natural and organic. Go play some roguelike if you want that. Mega dungeons are a lot of work to create too. A lot of work to create. I know, I just told you the story about my 3-level dungeon I designed. I don't know why I designed it to be and each level is very big too. I don't know why I designed it that way. I did, and I don't know. I like it. I don't mind doing it, but I made a mega dungeon. It takes some time. Number 12, the travel portion is done. You want to travel continents doing literally whatever you want, whenever you want? Go play Warcraft or play D&D with AI. The travel portion is done. Number 13, if you're late with no good reason, I'm going to have your character's hit points for the entire session. Okay. Number 14, I don't see how it takes people 2 hours to talk about this. It's clearly a joke. Number 14, if you don't show up for no good reason, and that will be determined by me alone if no one else has the guts to say crap for fear of upsetting one another, the first time you'll find yourself losing either a whole level or up to 3 major items of your own. Yeah, I mean, players do this. They do this. They just don't show up. Or they'll have some excuse that you're pretty sure is not true. Yeah, it happens. The second time you do it in a row, you'll be removed from the chat and the group full stop. I have no time for people to not show up. I had a player once who would just do a no call, no show just constantly. And no, he did it a couple times. After the second time, I was like, dude, what's going on? And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna pull out of the game. Okay, cool. And I got a new player. Number 15, if you get too stoned or drunk to play, I will go home without a warning. Your warning is here. 16, if you get up for bong or smoke or whatever breaks every 10 minutes, I will simply pack up and go home. I'm sick of waiting for every bloke to be at the table. Yeah, I just keep playing. If somebody leaves to go do something, I keep playing. I'm not gonna wait for people. If you gotta go bio or something, that's cool. That's cool, but I'm not waiting for you. Number 17, guidance, divination spells, owls, and whatever spells I decide are too stupid are banned. Outright, no more guidance. I hate guidance. I am sick of guidance. I'm about to ban guidance myself. It is the worst spell in the... No, it's not the worst spell in the game, but it's so stupid. It's like, guidance. Oh, I'm gonna search for traps. Guidance. I'm gonna do this. Guidance. So broken. Now, Pathfinder 2 got it right. They made guidance have a time down, essentially. Like, when you get guidance and you use it, you are immune to that spell for... It's either 1 hour or 24 hours. I forget which it is, but you literally can just use it a certain number, every certain interval of time. You can't just spam it like without any limits. It's so ridiculous. And having advantage on things is huge in 5th edition. So to have a mechanic that just gives you advantage on skills checks without any cost at all is, for a cantrip, it's ridiculous. I agree with number 17. Guidance is horse crap. I hate that crap. Oh, 1D&D did the same thing with guidance? Oh, really? They put a squash on guidance as well? Guidance is now like once per 10 hours or something. Well, you know, that's because like half of the game designers who work at Wizards of the Coast came from Paizo, and they worked on Pathfinder 2. And so they're all just like, yeah, we figured out when we were doing Pathfinder 2, we figured out that guidance from 5th edition sucked. And so we're just going to make sure that in 1D&D, we fix it for you. You're welcome. So yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me. Judas, you're exactly right. People think they can use it after the call has been made. You're 100% right. And that's what happens. Somebody declares they're doing something, and then the cleric is like, guidance. Now, you could argue that because the group all knows the cleric can cast guidance, that somebody, every time that they want to do something, they would just ask the cleric for guidance, and then the cleric would cast it. So it's like, you know, it's like tomato tomato type of thing. It doesn't really matter. If you require that the player ask the cleric for guidance before they do the thing, then this is what you're gonna get. Hey cleric, I want to go look for traps. Can you give me guidance? Guidance. I go look for traps. Hey cleric, I want to go walk down this corridor, and I want to, you know, whatever. Be very careful. Be very athletic or something, you know. And the cleric's like, oh yeah, guidance. And then you go do the thing, right? So it's like, if you require them to ask the cleric first, all that's going to happen is you get an extra dialogue, an extra line of conversation in the group, and it takes that much longer to get anything done. So I don't feel like that's the answer, because it's like you're introducing logistical burden to get the mechanical benefit. Because I don't think that's the answer. A 1 hour cooldown, there you go. That's the way to do it. Fred, now that is a great idea. Limit counterspell to once per day. Choose well. I like that. Because then you don't, I don't know, that's such an obvious, like, that's such an elegant answer to that problem. It's so elegant. Because you're not saying no, don't cast guidance, don't cast counterspell. You're simply saying counterspell makes the game unfun for people because they can't cast any spells. However, we also don't want to just not let you never do counterspell. So we'll let you do it once per day. So choose well. And then if you can get it to go off on a spell you really don't want to be cast, you get some satisfaction out of it, but the enemy spellcasters can still cast their other spells. That's a really good solution. I don't know why I have ranted on guidance so many times and it never occurred to me to just say once per day. That is really good, dude. That is really good. And it's always like that. Like the best solutions are just like, what? How did we not think of this before? Wow. All right, keep going here. You get one chance at a skill check. If you screw it up, the party doesn't get their chance to do the same check. Think careful who me will just me will just result in me telling you to okay, there you go. 21. You roll your dice within a view of two players who aren't you standard. I don't know what that means. You roll them neatly and you roll them on the table. Failing to do these three things will auto-fail whatever roll you did, arguing that you actually rolled validly when you clearly did it as an automatic critical failure. I once had a player who would like stack books around him, and he had like monster energy drinks in front of him, and he had a dice tower. He had like, did he have a dice tower? I don't even think he had a dice tower. Anyway, he had a whole bunch of crap around him. If he had a dice tower, he didn't use it because he would roll his dice, and then nobody could see behind this mountain, this wall around him. You know, he'd roll these dice and then he'd be like, 18! It's like he always drops 18 or above. It's like, okay, buddy. Number 22, instant death traps and mechanics are coming into place. If you call these things unfair moving forward, I will laugh at you and tell you to screw off and cry some more. 23, I will not give you random magical items and vendors will not stock them. They're meant to be rare and hard to acquire. Yeah, yeah. Number 24, random encounters in the form, you know, the interesting thing is Pathfinder 2, the magic items, the bonuses they give are so small and so slight that it's kind of nice because I don't really have to worry about players getting something that's going to break the game. You know, whereas in 5th edition, it's like they could get an uncommon magic item that could break the game. And it's like, how is this possible? Jeez. I'm sure there's things at Pathfinder 2 that are like overtuned or something, but generally speaking, I look at most of them, I'm just like, this is a level 5 item? Okay, sure, whatever, you can have it. Where am I? Number 24, random encounters in the form of random dragons or strange mysterious road trader or a band of goblin prostitutes isn't gonna happen. Go play Baldur's Gate 3. I don't give two craps about what Reddit said about X or Y ruling. And also, I would like to add on to this. I would like to append to this. I don't give two craps what Jeremy Crawford said in his Twitter ruling. If he wanted us to know how something was actually supposed to work, it should have been written in the rules the first time around. That's another thing that comes up a lot. It's really annoying. Number 26. I actually give less of a crap about what your mates and group did. Okay. Number 27. Saying anything to me about other players not liking me doing X or Y without them saying it directly to me will result in me kicking you out of the group. Don't use someone else to push your own agenda. That's interesting. I didn't realize people did that. So people will tell you that this person and this person doesn't like it when you do this, but it's actually them that doesn't like it. Oh, that's interesting. So human depravity has fallen to an all new level. Wow, that doesn't surprise me a whole lot. Number 28. You are not to sit down and have a 2-hour discussion about what Samson from Bundora Secondary did 3 weeks ago when you come to play. Take the 15 to 20 minutes I use to set up and review my notes to talk to each other, then sit down to play. You should actually be setting up and reviewing your notes before the game begins. Well, you might not host. That's true. You might not be the host, and so you might actually arrive there and have to get stuff set up. Which, okay, that's fair. That's fair. 29. Saying stuff like, guys, come on. We are not here to have fun. We're here to play D&D. This is serious business. It's rude and dismissive of how much work I put into this. I will simply go home if I hear this crap. Saying stuff like, guys, come on. We are not here to have fun. We're here to play D&D. This is serious business. It's rude and dismissive of how much work I put in. That doesn't make any sense. That literally doesn't make any sense. It's like you have, it's the opposite. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't make any sense to me. Number 3, don't order food randomly. We will eat together at a specific time or not at all. I don't want food all over my things. No food or drinks near any of my D&D gear. If you wreck something, you can pay for it. I let one person trash my DM screen once, and I never had it replaced by them. In fact, I had that person attempt to gaslight me into believing they didn't wreck my stuff at all. I'm not stupid. You're an adult. Accept responsibility. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like this OP. Like, I don't agree with a lot of this stuff, and I think it's like, it's not written to be serious, but he is kind of, there's some truth to this stuff, you know? Like, it's exaggerated to make a point, but there's like an underlying thread of like, yep, I know exactly where that rule came from. I've been there before. Yep. You know? If this was a joke, why did the OP delete it? Who knows? Because it makes it even more. Because look, people aren't stupid. They know that once something is on the internet, it's on the internet forever. So if you want to really spice things up, you can delete it because, oh my gosh, I'm gonna delete it now. You know, and that makes it even more like people are like, oh, he deleted it. It was so bad. He deleted it. It's like, I think that's just part of the jazz of it. You know, you do it intentionally just to like throw some fire on it, you know? 32, arguments between party members outside of roleplay will be resolved by me giving the definite ruling. If you don't like it, go back home. Number 33, I don't give a crap what they did in Critical Role or what one guy on Reddit said, or if you think that it's all make-believe, so you can do what you want. The world I run works on internal rulings and lore I created specifically for it. Yes, thank you. Very good. 34, every single person in this chat is having debuffs applied to their characters that should have occurred a long time ago. This will be specific to characters. Okay, I don't know what that's about, but alrighty. 35, if you didn't bring your sheet, you don't play. The player who's like, hey, guys, I didn't bring my character sheet. I had a player do that once, and his wife brought it to the game session. He did it it was an accident. The guy's awesome. I love him. He's a great player. But he forgot it once, and his wife brought it to the game for him. Saved his butt. He 36. If you don't bring dice, borrow some. 37. When we play D&D, I'm not your friend. That doesn't mean you treat me like an enemy during the game. It means I'm no longer being nice. 38. If you treat me poorly in any way, shape, or form after or during or before the game due to something that happened in the game, you're out. If you cannot separate a game from reality, I think you're a moron, and I have little time to deal with that energy. There's some truth there. 39. You will submit your spell lists daily in game. If you do not give me a spell list each in-game day, you will not be allowed to cast a single spell or cantrip in combat. I do not trust you guys to not use this against me. Yeah, I once had, this was like when I was in college. I had a player who didn't write their spell list down at all. They were a wizard who had to memorize them. And we were playing like 3.5. And I was like, wait a second. I looked at the character sheet or something, and we were like midway through a game. I looked at the character sheet and I was like, dude, what spells do you have memorized? And he's like, oh, just the standard spells, the standard array of spells. And I'm like, what's the standard array of spells? Oh, you know, whatever I need in the moment. He didn't really say that. I knew what he was doing. And I was like, no, you need to write your spells down. Whatever spells you have memorized, you need to write them down. Just go ahead and do that right now. It's like, no, you're not just gonna leave your spells, your memorized spell list blank and then just be like, oh, it's the standard array. It's the ones that I always have ready for my wizard. No, not gonna happen. No. 40. If you do not mark off spell slots or you say something like, I remember what I'm at, as a way to justify, I will simply fail your spell, deal half your health and damage to you, and say you have no spells to cast for the rest of the day. 41. If you break literally anything, you can buy the replacement that day or not attend till you do. Wow, this guy's got problems with players breaking his crap. I don't think I've ever had a player break anything of mine. 42. If you complain about the choice of music, I fully expect you to bring the whole playlist the next session or shut up. 43. Cannot stress enough how little I care about how you feel about my rulings from now on. Oh, and rule 44. I'm never just threatening you. I'm promising you. That's awesome. Now I can like tell why people were doing videos on this because it's hilarious. And there's like a thread, there's this element of like truth or like this smacks of experience, you know, of like experiencing these things and just being fed up of players doing this stuff or things in general. Like, yeah, there's, what do they call that? There's like, obviously there's like exaggeration here. I think this is meant to be a joke, you know, but it's kind of like true to a certain extent, some of these things, you know? Wow. That's nuts. I don't know why it would take 2.5 hours or something to go through that list. Unless you were doing an in-depth analysis of everything, but... Yeah, you see, nowadays, though, don't tell my players this, but I don't monitor any of their character sheets. I don't keep track of how many hit points they have, or if they're using their spell slots properly, or if they're using too many spell slots, or if they're doing other shenanigans they shouldn't be doing. Like, I don't monitor that for my players. I play with, I mean, it's possible somebody's getting away with something, but I think I have 2 reasons that I don't monitor all of that stuff. The first one is, quite frankly, I don't have time. I do not have time to babysit your character sheets and make sure that you're not cheating somehow. I just don't have time. That's gonna be, there might be no other reason besides that, and that's all it is. The other thing is that they're adults too. Like, I literally play with people who are like 30. There might be a couple people that are in their 20s, but most people are in their 30s or above, and they're all adults. In my in-person group that plays like right here, all adults, my age roughly, or there's one couple that I think they're they might be in their high 20s or something, maybe. I don't know. So, but they're adults, and it's just like, if I were playing with kids or something, then I may be more suspicious, but I don't know. And I'm not saying adults don't cheat, but it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then my other group are patrons, and they all pay to play. And they're all adults too. I mean, they make money to be able to play in the game. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just like, yeah, they're adults. I don't have time. I'm just gonna trust them. And if something, we did have one player. This was a couple years ago who was totally cheating in my Patreon game and got called out for it, and then got shown the door. So, Greg says, "Sorry, Luke. I already knew that. Knew what? What did you already know?" James says that most of the ones I saw covering the 44 rules go at length talking about how the guy who wrote it should have been more diplomatic and negotiate better, like so on and so forth. Really, that's whatever. I mean, I guess, but it wasn't written to be serious. It's clearly a joke, man. It's clearly somebody who's just like, yeah, I don't know. Somebody who makes a video and takes this seriously, I think they missed the point. They missed the point. The whole point is that, like, there's an element of truth to these things, and the person is expressing their like, it's almost like, what do they call that? It's an element of criticism where you parody. It's similar to a parody, you know? It's not because it's not the exact same thing, but it has a similar like vein to it, you know? Yeah, it took me 20 minutes to go through it. Yeah, it did take me 2 hours though, you know? Oh, Greg says you don't check character sheets. You said don't tell my players. Oh, that's right, you were one of my players. Well, don't tell anybody else, dude. What am I gonna say here? Michelle says DMs have so many things to keep track of. No DM should have to pay attention to player's character sheet. Helping teach is the only exception. Yeah, you shouldn't have to. I used to back when I had time and I was whatever, but now I don't. I don't worry about it a whole lot. And for something like for Pathfinder 2, like jeez. Yeah, I don't know. I don't worry about it a whole lot. Satire? It might be satire. It's definitely hyperbole. As a GM, I have a contract with my players. I trust them not to cheat. If I catch them cheating, they're no longer my players. I'm a terrible GM though, so half the time they don't have to cheat. A lot of people don't check character sheets, it looks like. Alright. I need more of this stuff. Watch this.
Hi, Barbarian here. Did you see my last sleazy plug? You know, the one where I talked about Lair magazine and tried to convince you to become a DM Lair patron? Yeah, well, I'm not gonna do all that work over again. So could you just go rewatch that plug and then, you know, become a DM Lair patron at the link below? Please, you know, just don't make me threaten you with my axe. My doctor tells me I gotta, you know, keep my blood pressure under control. Thank you.
Oh wow, that was fast. Woo! That was a fast one. Oh, we should probably do another one. There is a grain of truth in every joke. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, we have a giveaway going on. You can join the giveaway down in the chat. There should be a link in the chat. Our lovely moderators. Greg is a very lovely person. I've met him before. Meepy is very lovely. Both of our lovely moderators. I don't know if anybody else who is a lovely moderator is in chat, but both of them are very lovely people, and they will leave links for you down below. Let's see who gets there first. It looks like Meepy got there first. Meepy is the loveliest of our moderators. Meepy, you have the loveliest award. Congratulations, Meepy. There's a link to our giveaway down in the chat if you'd like to get in the giveaway. It's $50 store credit at the DM Lair store. You can get cool books for 5th edition, for Pathfinder 2. We have Foundry modules. We have a whole bunch of cool stuff over there. You can get $50 to pick out whatever you want. And then we have physical books, obviously. We got digital crap too. It's pretty cool. And then we're going to we will draw the giver to the winaway. We'll draw the winner to the giveaway once we hit our charity goal, which is donating to this charity here. Let me go show you the charity that we are currently raising money for. Let's go over here. All right, so we are raising money for the City Rescue Mission of Lansing. These folks are helping those without shelter and without food. Our goal is to raise $500 for them. We are at $175 out of 500. If you would like to contribute, you can send your donation via tipping. There is a link in the chat from our lovely moderator, Meepy, perhaps, where you can tip. And then once we hit our $500 goal, we will donate $500 to this charity and help the homeless out, help them get their back on their feet. Lots of people are struggling, and we're going to help some people. And the other thing as well is that there are charity donation perks. $25 donation to the charity, I will do push-ups for you on screen. And for $50, I will dance for you as well. So you're helping people who need help, and you're making me look stupid. There we go. And Meepy tipped $25. Thank you, Meepy. I appreciate that, dude. We're now at $200 right there. And I'm gonna start doing some push-ups here. Let's get the camera going. I'm gonna do some push-ups. Where's my camera? Where's my camera? Oh, there's no camera. That's the dog camera. That's the dog camera. She's sleeping. She pooped her pants last night. Was it last night or the night before? I don't know. There was one night that she had a surprise for me in those diapers. Oh man, it was crazy. That was crazy times. That was yesterday. Those were crazy times, ladies and gentlemen. All right, this is the push-up camera. And I literally went to the gym yesterday, so this is gonna hurt. Oh. All right, you got 15. I could have done 20, but I just went to the gym yesterday. My chest hurts, so yeah. Oh, we should give our cats some treats. How many cats do you think we can get for some treats? Luke has good form when doing his push-ups. Copper, don't start with me. Don't start with me. Jinx says, I can't believe he shows off those socks for free. Is that a thing to show off your socks? Is that a thing? Look at my socks. That's probably some sort of weird, messed up thing. I should probably not do that. Because there's probably people out there, okay, we should probably not talk about this. I'm sure that's a thing that's nasty that we shouldn't talk about. What was he gonna do? Oh, cat strike. Let's do a cat strike. We haven't done these for a while. One cat. The problem is, I gotta get some more cats. Oh, I have 2 cats. I don't have anything that rattles. Like, I don't have anything that rattles anymore. This is, look at this. This is catnip flavored. It's catnip flavored. This should be interesting. Got a couple clients, a couple customers here. They should enjoy that. Oh, here's another one. I got another customer. We have 3 out of 7 now. Oh, the clacking of his push-ups is his rings? Yeah, that was my rings. His push-ups sound like there's a metal pump inside of him. A metal pump. I just noticed that you no longer have a carpet. Oh yeah, we got rid of the carpet. We got rid of the carpet 2 months ago. And now we have that. What do they call it? Premium vinyl plank flooring. It's made out of vinyl, but it looks like wood. And some of it looks like plastic, like you can tell it's plastic. This actually looks really nice. It really looks like wood. You'd be fooled almost. Except that nobody puts wood flooring in their basement because that would be bonkers. Try dice in a cup. Plenty of rattle. Oh, that's a good point. Dice in a cup. Dice in a cup. I have dice. All right. Oh, I have another cat. Okay, we're gonna do dice in a cup. I mean, I have a cup right here. I have some dice. I just got dice. There we go. Let's see. That cat is getting scared. Well, I don't know whose idea that was, but it didn't work. I'm taking these dice out of my cup. Oh, crap. There's other stuff in this cup. This cup actually has the handle. The handle is broken off. And it was in my cup because I'm gonna fix it. And now I just made a mess. I also had some pieces of wood in the cup. They're from a shelf of mine upstairs that I was gonna fix when I had some time, which is probably gonna be never. All right, you guys ready for another story? Oh, what is really expensive? Flooring. Yeah. Got your bird's attention? 2/3 of the cats don't like happy customers. Well, the one cat didn't like the clanking. Yeah. Wait, catnip repels mice? Are you serious? We have a mice problem in our house. Imagine that. We have 7 cats and a mice problem. Yes, we do. Hold on a second. Does catnip repel mice? Yes, the strong smell of catnip can repel mice. Catnip, also known as Nepeta catara, is a plant often associated with cats, but it can be useful in gardens for managing rodents. The scent that intoxicates cats, nepelactone, also seems to affect mice, but in a different way. For mice, the smell is repulsive and may make them think twice about going near areas where catnip grows. Oh my word, you're kidding me. We have to start growing catnip in our yard. Oh, I gotta do that. I literally have catnip seeds too. I tried to grow catnip in the house for the cats, but they would just dig it up and make a big mess. That didn't work. And I should have known better. I know that cats dig up plants. I'm not dumb, but for whatever reason I thought it would work. It didn't work. Wow. That's crazy. Onions repel mice too? No, the cats are not doing their job. Well, they've killed some mice. They've caught some of them and killed them, but not enough. Not enough of them, obviously. Yeah, I have Walmart seed off. I got it off the internet. I got it off Amazon. Dang. Grow catnip in the yard. Every stray cat will love it and eat anything mouse-like. Oh, wow. We'll have tons of cats in our yard. It'll be like a cat paradise. That's perfect. Oh, man. Rocket Gamer says those cats obviously don't need to chase any mice. No, my cats are all fat chonkers, except for like one of them who's like kind of skinny. What hole are you talking about? So in Honest Science, I had a mouse problem. Then I discovered a mouse hole in my flower bed below the window I keep open for my cat. So I would catch or kill the mouse and new ones would just move in. Since I destroyed the hole, no more mice. I've actually, we know, so the mice always show up in the same place in our house. And my wife is pretty sure that there's probably a hole near our deck where the mice are getting in. And she's probably right. And so what we've considered doing is calling like an exterminator person to come out and like find the hole and fill the hole in. Like, we don't want to kill the mice. We don't kill animals. We catch and release. Like, we don't even kill spiders and stuff, usually. We just trap them and take them outside, even though I hate spiders. We don't like killing things, but if we can keep them outside of our house, that's what we want. Huh. Mothballs are good for mice and snakes around the foundation. Interesting. Copper says we had mice once. We got a cat, and somehow all the mice went away. Then we ended up with a litter of kittens. Far less. Got a litter of kittens. All right, let's find some things on our Reddit or on our Discord server and see if we can find something here. Oops. Hey, calm down. Let's see what we got over here. How not to run a convention module. And the problem with doing this on my Discord is that I can't. This is stupid. We're gonna have to do it this way. Because Discord, I can't just make this. Can I pop out? Can I do a pop out? Open in full view. Hey, look at that. I got it to work. I am awesome. All right, so can I zoom in to make, I can't zoom in to make things bigger though, so it's gonna be small text. How to not run a convention module. This session was marketed as noob friendly and to encourage new players. I have played for over 30 years, but I joined anyway. The characters were all level 8 with spellcasters, which is a nightmare for a noob friendly game. Yes, it's horrible. Which wasn't a good start. The start had a mass combat section. Mass combat, are you kidding me? Which was very clear that no matter what we chose or rolled, we were guaranteed to win. Yeah. Then we started exploring the dungeon. The DM got irritated with us that we didn't understand the layout of the rooms and how they connected, but refused to draw the dungeon and only described it narratively. Well, of course they're not going to know how it's laid out if you only describe it narratively, you moron. The final boss was a single monster, and it didn't have legendary resistance. So I kept throwing failure die spells at it, and my spells all failed again and again. It was clear the DM didn't want the boss battle to finish early, so it always made each and every save. So, not a way to run a convention module. Yeah, it's not a way to run anything. Wow. All right, let's go back over here, see if we can find something else. My first D&D experience. Oh, is this the one? Oh, Judas. Hey, what up, dude? This is the one. Judas from our chat. He's probably still here with us. There we go. He was talking earlier about how he posted his first D&D experience, so we'll talk about it. We'll read it. Here's my first post and my first experience of D&D. Suspect it's a horror story. This is a true story about my first D&D experience that pushed me to become a DM instead of a player. Yeah, that happens to a lot of people when they're like, this game sucks, I can do better than this. And they become a dungeon master. Yeah, giddy up. I was invited to join a virtual homebrew campaign by a friend. I never played a TTRPG before, but I was keen. I made a bard and had a great time. After about 6 months, we were level 7 or 8, and I had to go away for a month with work. I discussed this with the DM, and we decided that my character would be captured by the bad guys, and I would get rescued when I come back. I was on board, and it sounded like a great story arc. Fast forward a month, and my character got rescued. It turns out that in captivity, my character had repeatedly attempted escape, so the bad guys removed his tongue and fingers. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So you're gonna be like, oh yeah, take a break, it's not a problem. And then you come back and it's like, yeah, well, you know, you were trying to escape, so we took away some of your body parts. And broken and crookedly set his legs so he couldn't run anymore. Oh, good gravy. Also, his gear was removed and I didn't get it back when I was rescued, including his heirloom spear that was central to his background. This was all directed by the DM without discussion with me. For the next 3 or 4 sessions, my bard couldn't fight, couldn't cast spells, and had almost no gear other than hand-me-downs from the other players. The hand-me-downs. I know what the hand-me-downs are. The DM attempted to make amends by having a god restore my characters with a silver tongue that granted +2 charisma and regrew his fingers. The character was already soured for me though, as whilst other players had been given god tier equipment, I was struggling to get by with the +1 spear, so I soon decided to retire him and make a new character. By this point we were level 13, and I made a ranger who carried a crossbow and played for a few sessions. I asked the DM if I could get some gear to catch me up with the power levels of the other players who were routinely doing 100 plus damage a turn by this point. He gave me some +1 bolts. Gee, thanks. The only weapon my character has was her +1 light crossbow, and the final straw in this campaign for me was when I rolled a nat 1 to hit, and the DM told me that my magical crossbow's string snapped. Stupid nat 1 bullcrap. And I could no longer use the weapon, leaving me with pretty much no gear and no part to play anymore. It's so stupid. I quit very soon after, and now I only DM. Does this count as a horror story? Yeah, I mean, you had a stupid game master. Yeah. I forgot to mention that the DM used my bard as an NPC after I retired him, and he brought him back as a wizard, not a bard. It's like, we're going to abuse your character after you leave. Yeah, that was stupid. The game master is just doing horse crap. Like, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, take a break, and then when you come back, your character is ruined. That's horse crap, man. That's horse crap. It's like, and then they're gonna do the thing with like everybody else has god tier items, and you have a +1 junk, and then he breaks it on a nat 1. Like, so everything in this story are things that the game master can technically do, but you got to be like a jerkwad to do that to people, man. Yeah, that's a horror story, man. And you were wise in leaving that group, because that would have not gotten any better. It would have been the same crap every single time you played. So you're much better leaving and making your own group. 100% justified, dude. All right, let's go back. Let's find some more. I went on a soda run while the PCs were on a long rest. I came back and they said my PC was dead. I kept all the sodas. There you go. There you go, dude. What does Michelle say? We were playing D&D once and someone knocked on the door. We thought it was our pizza. It was a Tupperware container of newborn kittens. What? Oh, what? True story, umbilical cord still attached. Oh my word. Oh. Well, I'll tell you what, Michelle, I would have a bunch of new kittens in my house if that happened to me, because they'd all become mine and I would take care of them, and then we'd have 15 cats instead of 7. Michelle says, yeah, we paused the session and handled it. It's a whole story, too much to type, and don't want to distract from Luke since the topic has changed. But it was a wild D&D day. Oh, but that's so cool. Like, not that that happened, right? But wow, that's a good story. Jeez, too bad that it's a true story. Good gravy. We're fighting a rat infestation in our garage. Rats? Oh man, it's not mice, it's rats. Oh dude. And we're using a cage trap and relocating them to a field like 5 miles away. Oh man. Rats are worse than mice. They're bigger. Jeez. So how does this work? You just join Discord and describe what happens? Yeah, I think, yeah, you just make a post. You go into the RPG horror stories and you just leave a post. And then, I mean, I'm reading them right now. Send Luke your best RPG horror stories to read on stream. Yay! Let's look at this one. GM tries to make a new TTRPG and hide it as D&D 5e. The full story is linked. It is mine, but it's just easier to copy the link. That's fine. I can click a link. I have no problem clicking your link, good sir. And you put this on the Crit Crab one? How long is it? Whoa! 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 Holy crap! I can't read this! Where's the too long didn't read? Like, I'm sorry. I can't read all of this. I will never finish. I respectfully decline. Let's go find a new one. I am sorry. It's too long. Oh, you know what I need to do here? I need to put like some bacon on this stuff. React to the post. Bacon. React. I read this one. Yep. Bacon. React to post. Is there something for long? I mean, I'm just gonna do like a angry barb, angry barb face. I don't know what to put. I can't read that. It's too long. Murder hobos gaslight their GM. Let's hopefully this one is not as long as the last one. Long. See, that's labeled as long, but it's manageable. The other one was just like scroll, 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 scroll. It never ends. Gah! Sorry. Yeah, cliff notes. Oh man. Oh my gosh. Murder hobos gaslight the DM. A college club of 4 players, including myself, and a DM were or are playing D&D, but it had a lot of urban fantasy elements. One player was playing a hobbit wizard. Yeah, we call halflings hobbits, sue me. This player was very quick to burn, freeze, poison, or impale anyone who mildly inconvenienced him. And unfortunately, as I have come to learn, the DM is just not very confident or assertive. We were playing a murder mystery arc for the last couple of weeks to find a killer to help our ally who was framed for the crime get out of jail. I don't know what that means. We decided to investigate by asking the locals of this one neighborhood. Hobbit Wizard decided to go a bit further than the rest of us and start rounding up people he found suspicious and then using a slew of spells to torture them for information and then rob them after they don't tell him anything. The ranger of our party, an orc, agreed with Hobbit Wizard's methods and joined him and started flaying people with his dagger. Holy crap! Our ranger was kind of an instigator, murder hobo too, and frequently backed up the Hobbit Wizard's antics. What? So you're just grabbing random people and flaying them to get information. Wow. Whoa. The rest of us decided to keep a low profile, knowing these 2 ding-dongs were going to attract police attention, given the fact that they were made no attempt to be subtle about what they were doing. We all ended up fleeing the area when a bunch of spell-decked Aasimar cops showed up looking for people fitting our profile. We ended up next session going back to the city's shopping center to regroup and consider new leads at a tavern. The DM described the tavern. It was a rustic bar, but with a magical aura with trinkets on the wall. An Aasimar cop sneaking in a beer during his break, an elven eldritch cultist, barrels of booze, and then a mix of patrons from all different races, and then a middle-aged tiefling barkeep. We talked about a fortune-telling mage downtown who can give us cryptic information on different people for a price. As we all got ready to go, Hobbit Wizard said, "Yo, barkeep, give me a barrel of beer for the road," as he just grabbed the nearest barrel and started rolling it out. The barkeep said, you didn't pay for that." Hobbit then said, "Put it on my tab." The barkeep said, "That's not how it works. You can't take a whole keg without paying." Hobbit's player then said, "I cast magic missile on the barkeep." I then spoke up and reminded him that there was a cop right there and that he was about to blow his mission. Hobbit then said that he saw the barkeep had a dangerous magic item on the wall that is no doubt illegal in this city. DM objected and said that he said these trinkets were not magic items, but then he just looked at Orc Ranger's player, and Orc Ranger said, "Yeah, you did, DM. You said magical trinkets, and we all know that means magic items." This is the part where I called them and said, "No, he did not." And then Hobbit Wizard just said, "You were not paying attention. Now I roll persuasion to convince the Aasimar that the tiefling barkeep is a threat, and I get advantage because Aasimar hate tieflings." And before me or the other player who was legitimately not paying attention could respond, Orc Ranger and Hobbit Wizard just started attacking the barkeep and his workers, and the DM just let the Aasimar cop stay out of it because he did succeed with his persuasion roll, and everything happened so fast. This is stupid. This is the sort of situation where I don't care how high you are rolling on your persuasion check, no police officer is gonna just stand by and let you light up the barkeep and steal a keg. It's not happening. That is an impossible thing to do. It's not happening. Like I said, DM was honestly a bit too passive to BS. After they killed the barkeep and the barkeep's workers, Hobbit Wizard had the gall to say, what magic item did he have on the wall? And the DM just shrugged and said, I guess he had a Horn of Blasting. And then the Hobbit Wizard swiped it and gave it to Orc Ranger and then left. I wouldn't even be playing this game. Man. I talked to the DM after the session about how I didn't like how they tried to basically steamroll that scene, gaslight us, and then act like they were basically the DM in some power fantasy. DM said he gets they were probably full of crap, but thought it's not a big deal because the Horn of Blasting is kind of mid anyway. You're just justifying your own cowardice, Game Master. You're justifying your own cowardice. Why don't you own up to the fact that you didn't have any cojones and you didn't do anything about it? It's not a big deal because it's kind of mid. Whatever, man. It's okay. You need to grow some, man. I feel like he was missing the point. No, he wasn't missing the point. He didn't have any. His pants were empty, man. He didn't have any, so he just doesn't have any guts, man. And so he was justifying his lack of standing up for what he knew was right. He's just justifying it. He didn't miss the point. He's a coward. He was justifying it. I like the DM. His way of mixing classic D&D medieval fantasy with modern-esque urban fantasy is genuinely really fun, and I could even tolerate some of the murder hobo BS, but this incident really rubbed me the wrong way. But I feel like the only one who cares, so what can I really do? You can find a different game. That's what you can always do. Too long didn't read. Two murder hobos. See, this is what the last post needed. The last post needed a too long didn't read. Two murder hobos terrorize a neighborhood and then rob and murder a barkeep while gaslighting us about a magic item that they clearly should not have. Yeah. The king must give me the kingdom. I made my persuasion check. Shut up, Kev. Wow. Let's see. Let's find another one. I have more that I found earlier myself. Let's see if we can find something. Oh, this is the one we couldn't read. We'll just close that. We already read this one. We'll close that. This is a short one. Oh, this is a short one. DMPC overshadows party. I've DM'd for a group for a couple of months. We are all new to D&D except two of us. One of the other more experienced players decided they wanted to host a one-shot turned multi-sesh micro campaign. We haven't finished yet. A one-shot multi-sesh micro campaign? Okay. Why can't you spell out the entire word? Did you go on vacay recently? I, who was suffering from a little burnout, wanted to play my first character. Tiefling fighter, not important. So the party wakes up with memories gone after an apparent fight, and one guy, the DMPC, hasn't woken up yet. Our warlock's trying to remove his mask of DMPC, only for his patron to be scared of the DMPC. What? I think we have some writing problems here. I'm having trouble following what you're even talking about. I don't know. We wake him up, so there's a DMPC. I don't know what's going on here. We wake him up normally, and we find out that he, the super famous and powerful Phantom Rebellion leader. I fully believe that this is a Persona 5 reference. I don't know what that is. It's probably some pop culture stuff I'm not familiar with, even though the DM won't admit it. And he wants our help to defeat the whatever many evil captains of the evil king. See how it's hard to understand what people are trying to say when they don't have strong writing skills. Cut to the first boss fight. It's just the DMPC show we tack on a little bit of damage, but this guy doesn't need our help at all. The next boss fight, same stuff, but this time the DMPC grabs the boss by the neck and does 10 Eldritch Blasts to the boss. Next turn, DMPC summons 3 animated armors in one action before we end up killing the boss. Sorry if this is really terribly written. I suck at writing on my phone. I guess, yeah. Too long didn't read. Super overpowered DMPC completely overshadows party. I mean, in that one fight, did some stuff. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna move on from that. I'm sorry. I had a hard time understanding what this person was even talking about. Because I can't. Why do you need writing skills? I can't understand what they're saying is why. It doesn't make any sense. I can't understand it. And if I can't understand it, how am I going to... Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, dude. That's why. That's why writing is important. Because you can't be understood if people can't understand you. That guy refuses to explore the world in open world TTRPG. Accuses GM of being his enemy. Hold on. How long is this one? Woo! That one's pretty long. Let's see if we can find a shorter one. Medium. Okay, cool. My DM loves killing us. I don't see any periods. Holy crap. There's no periods at all. Let's see if we can do this. My DM loves killing us. Pretty sure this counts as a horror story. If not, I'll remove it. As stated in the title, our DM kills us constantly with his BS stuff. We have a death every session and he keeps laughing and even has a little wall of dead characters on D&D Beyond. He says he likes to look at them to feel better, says he wears them as a badge of pride. I don't know if he is joking or what. I'm just tired every time I make a new character, they die in 5 minutes. That's fast. It might be an exaggeration. Once he killed my character outside of session before I even played him, and he has this thing where if you say this one god's name, he just appears and TPKs you. He drove a poor lad to quit after they said it 3 times by accident. It's not like these deaths are cool either. I mean, he literally snipes me once with 300 damage, snipes me once with 300 damage at the end of a session at level 7. Maybe do a strength save. I was a bard, got shot from 5 miles away. I signed up for a hard game, not this, and all my mates hate it. Too much problem is besides this, the DM is really good. Plenty of RP and funny moments. He is just far too trigger happy. He constantly promises to go easy, but he never does. I'm not sure what to do as I just can't put effort into a character I know will be dead meat by next session, guaranteed for clear numbers. I've died once or twice a session for the last 8 sessions. Whoa, once or twice, wow. I die every session too in my Pathfinder 2 game right now. My character dies almost every session. That's because I am reckless. It's my own fault. And the overall deaths, which I know from this weird mural, is 38 in 18 sessions. It's permadeath. We are playing Curse of Strahd, so we had a few resurrections, which would change the count. I mean, what can you do? You leave the game and you find a different game. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Judas, you have a Hall of Fame, dead characters, their token, their name, and how they died. What's up, Squeaky? Squeaky has decided to join us. Yeah, just the guy, they said Beetlejuice 3 times and he shows up. Yep. I mean, some people might like this style of game where it's just super lethal and you die, but some of this stuff is like sniping you for 300 damage from 5 miles away. It's not even like a quote-unquote fair death. You're just dead for no reason whatsoever besides the whim of the game master, and that's... I don't mind dying in Pathfinder 2, my Pathfinder 2 game that I'm a player in. I don't mind dying because I know, one, he's just running Abomination Vaults. He's running Abomination Vaults, which is brutal. We are level 4 or 5, and we're running content that's designed for 1 level below our level. And there are 5 players, 5 characters, and our game master isn't tweaking the module for 5 of us. He's leaving it as designed for 4 players, and we're like level 5, 4 or 5, and we're playing like level 3 content, and we're still getting our butts wiped up. It's crazy. We are getting destroyed in one shot by the stuff in this module. Abomination vaults, brutal, crazy craziness. And I don't mind dying all the time because I know the module is brutal, and I'm also really kind of reckless. So, but this is just not even anywhere near the realm of fair, you know? I've been trying to get my half-orc idiot killed for 6 months. I mean, 5th edition will just not let me die. Yeah, there's always that. The best movie of all time? Star Wars. That's what I'll go with. All right, we read that one. Where are we at? Ooh, wee. Extra long. Oh, well, we'll read the title. DM makes girlfriend the BBEG ignores all player input. That's probably a recipe for disaster, but it's too long and we're not gonna read it. Rogues leave the game after realizing that actions have consequences. How long is that one? Oh, that's... is there a shorter one? Do it extra long? This one's extra long. Good gravy. Do we have anything here? That's really long too. Why did I pick out all these super long ones? This is really... I want a short one. Okay, I can't read this one. The title says it all. Wow. The player offers to have his wife do favors in the middle of the game. Yeah, that's a horror story. Wow. We're not gonna read that one. We'll just move along. Oh, we can't read this one either. Apparently this guy was advertising to be a paid DM and people weren't interested, and then this is what he posted. Wow. Yep, that's probably a bad dude. You don't want to play with him anyway. Yeah. All right. That's the end of the thing. Oh, we can go back to my my Discord to see if there's anything there. Judith says, "But was she attractive? Dune is my favorite right now. Oh, the new Dune movies are really good. There are 2 Dune movies that came out recently-ish, and they're both really good. Really good. I like them. Are they gonna do a third? I feel like they have to do a third, don't they? Because the second one doesn't actually tell you how like the main storyline ends or anything. So there's got to be a third one coming out. Do you know if there's a third one coming out? Copper, do you know? Is there a third one coming out? There has to be. Like, it just feels like it's incomplete. It needs to be like a trilogy. Oh, my dog woke up. The third Dune movie, there is a third Dune movie planned. Oh, okay, cool. They're adapting the second book into a movie. They really don't want to keep going after the third book. I haven't read any of the books. I've just watched the 2 movies. The original Dune movie that they made, when did they make that? It was a while ago. It's an older movie. I tried watching it once, like a couple years ago, but only got about 5 minutes into it, and I was like, and then I bounced. But the new ones are really good. Woo! Those ones I watched. It is Dune Messiah. It's coming out later, though. Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah, you should take a look at Dune. It's really interesting. And then I really enjoyed reading, there's like Wikipedia entries on Dune, obviously, that give you way more information about different stuff that they use, like the voice and the Bene Gesserit, or however you pronounce it and stuff, and all this super interesting stuff. Like as I was watching the movie, I was like, what is that? And then I'd go Wikipedia and find some information about it and just go into this rabbit hole of reading about Dune, and there's super interesting stuff about that world just as a whole. So I thought it was really, really intriguing. So it's some really good lore in there. I thought was really cool. So yeah, try reading Dune. It's a tough read. Interesting. After book 3, it gets a bit too weird for modern audiences. Plus, it time jumps about 5,000 years. Whoa! David Lynch directed the first one, and he had this habit of making beautiful movies with gorgeous scenes and just crapping himself halfway through. Really? So he would just kind of like, the movie would just fizzle out halfway through and just be garbage? Dune is science fiction's answer to The Lord of the Rings. Both are very dense worlds and books. Ah, yeah, I can see that. Around 70 and 80 was the original Dune. Yeah, I remember it being old when I tried to watch it. The 80s Dune movie had 4.5 hours filmed for it, and they originally cut it down to 1 hour and 50 minutes. Wow, wow. Judith says Dune is an amazing read. Yeah, you know, I don't know, there's some books that I've read that others have said are hard to read, but they've been really good. Like Tale of Two Cities. Oh, Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens is really good. Once you understand what it's about and you get what's happening, once that clicked for me, I was like, oh, this book is amazing. And then I couldn't put it down. They then released a 2-hour, 20-minute TV cut version, which was also too cut down. Wow. There is a 3-hour fan cut, which is the best version. I mean, aren't the fan cuts usually the best versions? Because the fans are like, listen, we don't care about having to fit it into certain time blocks. We don't care about it being too long for the movie theaters. We don't care about having to, we don't care about any of that. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make the movie that we're gonna like, that we're gonna enjoy, without worrying about all these logistical junk that, you know, television producers worry about. We're just gonna make a good movie. And of course the fan cut is gonna be the best one. Ooh, Isaac Asimov. Have I read any of his stuff? I can't remember. Michael Burrow says it's about two cities, isn't it? It's about two cities. It's about London and Paris. And it's about two main protagonists in there as well. It is. And it happens during the French Revolution. You know, where what do they call them? Where the common folk rose up against the nobilities and the king and stuff. If I'm not getting my history wrong, I think that's the French Revolutionary War. Is that what it was? And I could be getting a few things of my history a little bit confused. So take that with a grain of salt. Yeah, fans don't care what the normies think. Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Absolutely. We don't care how long it is now. Yeah, that's right. I could have watched those Dune movies. The ones right now that they made, I could have watched those for 2, 3, 4 hours. I don't care. It was a good movie. I'll sit there. I will sit there and eat popcorn for as long as you want me to. You just make the movie. Have you read the Amber Chronicles? No. The first French Revolution. They've had multiple revolutions? Dang. Okay. Well, I mean, hey, you know, if you got bad government, you got bad government. You got to revolt, right? France has had several revolutions. Whoa. How many revolutions have they had? Now I got to go find out how many revolutions France has had. How many revolutions has France had? The 3 major revolutions. Okay, well, let's take a look at this. The 3 major revolutions in France occurred in the years 1789, 1830, and 1848. There was the French Revolution of 1789, which brought down the monarchy and the ancient regime and resulted in the beheading of King Louis the 16th and his famous wife, Marie Antoinette. Wow. Hold on a second. Let's go here. That's interesting. There's a lot of revolutions. The revolution lasted until 1972, at which point the National Assembly abolished the monarchy and declared the First Republic. The bloodshed and devolution into extremism that marked this period was called the Reign of Terror, where the Jacobians, the left-wing radical revolutionaries, and the Committee of Public Safety executed anyone deemed an enemy of the revolution. Yeah, I remember this from the book Tale of Two Cities. It was like lines of people waiting for the guillotine. Yep. These radical forces ultimately turned on themselves when even their leader himself was executed. That's how those things work, man. Everybody is like ratting out everybody else to save their own skin, and then they just like, you know, cannibalize each other. It was a messy and bloody time with estimates of deaths reaching 20,000 people. That's nothing compared to our world wars, but I mean, it's horrible, but nothing compared to the world wars. I guess at this time they didn't have a lot of our methods of mass destruction, like airplanes dropping bombs and machine guns and crap like that. So they were a little limited in the amount of death they could cause. And I don't know that, I think you still had, how far had firearms progressed at this point? You still had single shot rifles that you had to reload, right? I don't think they had repeating rifles at that point. We're still pretty early on. So that limits the amount of bad stuff you can do, I suppose. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of information here about the French revolutions, which everybody in the stream's probably like, Luke, we don't care. Goodbye. Have a nice day, dude. Low population, one country, high ratio. Oh, really? It was a high like death to population ratio? Muskets and cannons back then? Cool. Interesting. Ernest Hemingway avoided war crime charges for assisting the French Revolution in World War II. Huh, interesting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we got. We are done for tonight. I'm peacing out. Have yourselves a wonderful evening. I will see you in a couple weeks. I will not be here next week, but I'll be here. I think I'll be here the week after. I think, yeah. I'll be here the week after, and we'll just do a standard Q&A for that one and just kind of hang out and stuff. So thank you for hanging. I hope you enjoyed the horror stories and stuff, and we had the 44 rules. That was pretty cool. I understand now why everybody's doing videos on it. It's pretty fun. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm leaving. You have yourselves a wonderful day. Quackers. Does anybody else watch Donut Operator? Who else watches Donut Operator? That guy's awesome. You should go look at Donut Operator on YouTube. He is pretty cool. All right, I'm out of here.